lots of people criticizing the care of animals at the Calgary Stampede. You and I both know that these animals get better treatment than the people, but just like what sort of care goes into making sure these animals are safe, happy, and healthy?
Oh, we make sure they've got food 24/7, water 24/7, their stalls are cleaned. If you go down to the chuckwagon barns, and even in our barn, we have fans for to keep them cool in the days, and they're totally loved. They're our livelihood, so we take good care of them.
I'm Soos here for Rebel News, and I am on location behind the scenes at the Stampede Rodeo Grounds. I'm in fact right next to the chuckwagon track, and the races are unfolding as we speak. So if you see some folks racing by, don't mind them. They're just fine. They're doing their best to win some of this big Stampede money. I actually wanted to take this opportunity today to speak with some of the cowboys here, some of the athletes, to learn about the incredible care that goes into rearing these animals. You know, these animals often worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. They are absolutely integral to the livelihoods of these cowboys. So everyone here on the Stampede ground, whether it's livestock or performance athletes, these horses, these bulls, they are getting the best treatment. The cowboys frequently telling us that the animals eat first, the cowboys second. These animals, it would seem, are wanting for nothing. To learn more about the incredible treatment that they receive, I spoke to quite a few people here on the grounds to get their stories. So we're out here talking to folks at the Stampede grounds. Now, lots of people, they're checking out the concerts, checking out, maybe having a couple drinks, having a good time. But some folks, maybe they've forgotten some of the rodeo roots and the ranching roots of the Stampede ground. What are you doing here, bringing your animals here, helping people reconnect? What's your sort of mission?
Actually, that's a really good question. I think that our society has really got away from, like you say, the grassroots, and really forget where our food comes from. And really the sole purpose of being here is to help to educate the public and help to show them that we're continuing to work. Like, first of all, we love these cattle. These are part of our life for generations. Yeah. And we take great pride in having them manage our grasslands and whatnot, our natural resources, so that we can pass them on to our kids. Mm-hmm. And so we help to teach people what we do and how we help to better, first of all, so we get great Alberta beef. Yeah. And then also so we can preserve our grasslands and our heritage, and this is part of our life, and we take care of these cattle like we do our family.
Are they very much part of the family? Like, are they that closely connected to you?
Oh yeah, we're with them every day. They come in for the barn. I'm up at 6, and that's the first thing I do was go grab my horses, put them in the barn, both teams, give them their oats, let them stand in there, finish their oats, and then they go back outside, run around a little bit. And
now, do they like it? Do they have fun? Do they get revved up when it's time to go?
Oh yeah, they all know when they're at the show. They just love it. They're just ripping and wanting to go, let's get it done. And if they didn't like it, they wouldn't do it. Yeah. They would stop. They say, no, I don't want to. And we can't hit them or anything. That's against the rules. You're banned then. If you hit that horse, you're done. You're kicked out.
Well, me and my mare do the Extreme Cowboy Challenge, which is out of Cochrane. That's my mare there. So we do all sorts of, we simulate what you would do on a ranch, so rope, gates, bridges, that kind of thing, and a little bit of everything. We trail ride and have fun.
You know, I'm sure you guys see this firsthand. You're probably the best people to speak to. There's a lot of sort of misinformation out there. You've heard them about, they tie the bulls down in their gentleman parts and irritate them, or they're jabbing them in their sides or their spikes and their garters there. Is there any truth to any of that sort of stuff? Have you ever seen anything of that nature?
Never. Honestly, the horses here, all the livestock here are treated like absolute gold. And we go through tons of training to make sure that everyone is on the same page. And our horses get treated better than we do.
Yeah, they eat before us. And I think if you had an animal with the price tag that they do, you would never do something like that to them. So,
can you tell us about the type of care that these animals are receiving?
Yeah, we come up here and we got them, put the horse in nice stalls, cleanest stalls morning and night, and then as far as the animals we're competing on, the steers, we want them trained. We want them to know their job, for we don't get hurt also, and they don't get hurt. That's what we do for a living. We got to keep the sport alive, so we're doing everything we can to make sure our horses are in top shape, and also the livestock too. So all the committees in Calgary goes above and beyond how they take care of all their stock and make sure, if there's a few different rules up here that, if your dog fall in the steer house and it's just no time, you gotta let them go. So, the calves don't have to stay down as long. And so the Calgary is dang sure ahead of the game on that.
they're everything to us. Right? Like without the horses, we can't compete. So they're getting 5 gallons of oats a day, and they're getting fed before the families or the workers are. They become part of the family because you're spending every day with them.
Incredible. Now, I've also heard, and I don't know if this is true, but are some of these horses from racing or other fields that have kind of been abandoned, and they're taken in, adopted, and they get to live this sort of life as elite athletes instead of maybe being retired or worse?
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of the people don't understand. They're all ex-race horses. Yeah. So, their career might end at 4, it might end at 8, but it ends eventually.
Yeah.
So we take them when they can't run on the racetrack anymore, for whether they stop running or there's an injury that we can deal with, that they can't pack a rider or something, and we extend their career for 10, 15 years.
And so do the animals like being out there? Do they like to compete? Do they like running?
Well, you can't make a horse run, so thoroughbreds are born to run. Bred, that's what they love doing. You can tell if you're back here once the harness starts coming out, and see how excited they get, and they're ready.
Yeah, well, I guess the naysayers that you're talking about, they just don't understand. They've never been back, and they don't care to learn either. So we can try to educate them as much as possible, but their ears are pretty closed when it comes to any discussions when it comes to the care of these animals. But yeah, obviously it's the utmost importance to us. These are our family here.
Well, it was incredible to get a behind-the-scenes look at the care and passion that these cowboys and ranchers have for their animals. There are people out there who will never quite be satisfied with the Stampede, will complain no matter what, but for, I think, a critical viewer, anyone who's willing to look at this with an open mind, and anyone informed on the rodeo front, there's absolutely no denying that these animals are not only cared for, but they're very much loved here at the Calgary Stampede. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. For Rebel News, I'm Adam Soos. I want to thank all of you for watching this video. It's thanks to your support that we're able to get out here and do this reporting, tell the other side of the story. I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to Rebel News Plus. You'll get access to incredible members-only access shows like the Israel Levant Show, The Gun Show, Rebel Roundup, Misunderstood, and Andrew Says. But beyond that, you're also supporting us in all of the journalism that we do. Every single one of these stories doesn't come from government grants and funding or subsidies or bailouts like some of the other mainstream media outlets. All of our journalism is funded by support from people like you. So consider subscribing to Rebel News Plus.